Bonjour à tous. Hello to everyone. Welcome to Connect On Air, the new platform where you can access to live events and also watch out those video later on demand, thanks to our interactive player. I am today with two person here that were having a session just before. Ben Poor, hello, from the EBU, your project manager, and Martin Koch. Hello, you're from AUDI, Head of Development Multimedia in Germany. First question will be to you, Ben Poor. We see how Apple's CarPlay makes the screen look the same in different cars. What happens really in the car industry and screens in a car? What do manufacturers want? Tailor-made and different, or all the same look?
So that's one of the questions that I posed to Martin, who it's fair to say that Audi are a fairly high-end car manufacturer, but there are different types of cars across the market. So it could well be that we see the market fragmenting into different spaces. So the high-end car manufacturers, they have the multi-screens, they have the immersive experience, they want to have cockpit views and main dashboard views and back views and all these different views. They want to create a special environment for their customers, and that's their unique selling point. You could argue that there's a lower end as well for the price-sensitive customer, should we say, who just want a car. They don't necessarily care about what the infotainment system is, and actually they're more tied to their phone, and they prefer to take their phone environment with them into their car. So that's where we could see Apple CarPlay and Android Automotive sitting, kind of a separation of the markets in two areas.
How to have a place when you are a radio station on the screen?
That's really one of the main themes of these discussions, is when you come outside the traditional broadcast band, that's your fixed space. Only a certain amount of radio stations, only certain radio stations can exist there. If you then expand that to the internet age, you basically have a very large sea of radio stations to fish in. So I think it's very important for broadcasters, and they're very focused on that, is how to make radio remain prominent on the dashboard, but also how to remain discoverable. So their previous means of being discoverable is now being blown up because you can access it from any time. I think there's an interesting discussion about whether we want to remain with this trusted square of broadcasters, or we want to allow users to access anything from anywhere. I think certainly there's a conversation now, especially with fake news and attribution and content and all these buzzwords, that actually retaining the prominence of certain broadcasters that sit within a trusted and regulated space could be quite important for audiences as well as for broadcasters themselves.
Martin Koch, as a car manufacturer, how do you know what a user wants in a car, and how do you decide your in-screen choices?
So inside Audi, we run a very complex user testing program. This is mainly done by the colleagues which are responsible for the HMI design, and they run through several tests, and we try to improve what we have over the generations in order to fit. And the other thing is, we think out of the box. We try to make different people get from their phone. They pay very much money for their cars, and they expect more from their cars than they could expect from their phone. And so we have to find always new solutions to be a leader in the market, be leader in the segment, leader in the premium area, and we have to have more. And this is what we've done with hybrid radio. We are the first on the market. You can have your seamless service following. So if you're driving outside the reception area, it seamlessly switches over in the Audi to from broadcast to online streaming and then back. And so we have to find these crucial points where we are different and where we are ahead.
I think that crosses over very well from the broadcaster point of view, in that, again, you can listen to radio stations via aggregated platforms. I mean, we have TuneIn in a lot of different devices, but actually broadcasters' content, the rich content that they have, distinguishes them above a generic jukebox service or a streaming media service. And I think there's a real benefit in linking broadcasters together with device manufacturers like automotive we as broadcasters can provide you with much more information than you can get on other generic aggregator platforms. I think that's good for the broadcasters' audiences, but as well also for the automotive customers and drivers.
Martin Koch, what can DAB Plus bring to the car and in the future to the autonomous car, according to you?
So for me, DAB Plus is mainly a question of a choice and of quality. So we have so high-end audio systems inside our cars with well over 20 speakers, and if you don't have the source, a high-quality source for that, they're just useless. And if you listen to a crappy FM station, then you paid a lot of money, but you don't have the sound quality. So for me, DAB Plus is a very big plus in its sound quality. And the second is in choice. So the customer wants choice. They don't want to have only not only the choice in DAB, they want the choice in streaming, they want the choice in online sources, but the customer wants choice, and DAB is an advantage for the customer in the radio section to have more choice.
Perfect. Now the tricky question. Can 5G be an alternative to broadcasting via DAB+? Who wants to answer this one? You can both answer.
Can we just walk away? Is that all right? So, I am by no means a 5G expert. One of the things I do know is that, well, I would ask the question, what is 5G? Also, some more learned people than myself have said, well, 5G in theory could deliver some benefits to broadcasters, but I think some of the presentations we saw yesterday, especially from Arqiva, they talked about some of the costs and the business opportunities. And are we as a broadcasting industry saying that there is a guaranteed place for radio in a mobile network that is costing billions and billions and billions to build out, when we know that actual audio is very hard to monetize? Very hard to monetize podcasts, very hard to monetize on demand. You need to make your money somewhere else. Mobile network operators need to make the money from something. Right now, that's video. That's not audio.
I think for the customer, the main benefit of broadcast is that it's free to air. So I don't have to spend extra money while listening to radio. So free to air is for me a very crucial point. And if you want to make a radio better in the future and fill it up with online metadata, I think it's worth to provide this metadata free to air or free to online as well, because the main advantage of radio is it is accessible everywhere and it is free. And we have to make it more beautiful, but without paying money for it.
Thank you very much, both of you. Thank you very much for watching on Connect on Air. Please feel free to come back and watch again this video on demand. And we'll have some new live later on, so stay tuned. Thank you very much.